And before we get into the video, make sure to enter into our giveaway by subscribing to PlayStation Source, leaving a like on the video, commenting on what you would use the $10 PSN card for, as well as your Twitter username in that said comment, and make sure to follow PS Source Vids on Twitter. Now on to the breakdown. What is going on, guys? It is your boy TKD123 here. We're going to cover the Ubisoft E3 2018 press conference. And just, you know, at the top of this video, just some quick impressions about the whole thing. It was a very good conference. I think it was probably Ubisoft's, maybe their best showing. Again, like, it's crazy how this year, 2018, we've gotten arguably Xbox's best conference they've ever done. And then we also got Ubisoft's best conference they've ever done as well. Like, it's just crazy. But at the top of the show, they did the classic Just Dance showing where they did a whole, you know, dance ensemble. And honestly, you know, even with the dancing, okay, you know, a lot of people, you know, don't really enjoy it that much. I've enjoyed that much in the past, obviously, and it's usually been kind of just a whatever part of the Ubisoft conference. But this year, honestly, I was pretty entertained. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. You know, it wasn't that extremely long, you know, as it has been in the past. They had a live band as well. Overall, pretty great. They announced Just Dance 2019. We didn't get any word on a release date or a track list or a platform, anything like that, but I'm sure it will come probably later this year to a bunch of consoles that you probably already own as well. So no need to, you know, fret about that. It's Just Dance, you know what I'm saying? It's for that group of people. Let them dance, man. Let them dance. And then following that, we got a really cool CG trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2 that looked crazy lit. Super cool. Really nice. Just voice acting they did, and overall animation of the, obviously the CG trailer, but it looked super dope. And then they announced that obviously it's an action and adventure RPG game that you can play solo or co-op. And then they also announced that you can fight in space or on land at different planets and different locations, and you'll be able to go to both of those areas without any load screen, whatever. So it's just a seamless type of transition. And it was also weird too, because when they were showing off the gameplay, at least on stream, they didn't zoom in to the actual you know, gameplay that they were showing on screen at the actual venue they were having the conference at. So that leads me to believe that there's probably some red flags there. Definitely there was a reason why they didn't cut to that gameplay full screen on stream for people. Not sure what that is. Maybe the game looks a little bit rough. That's just what I thought and what I picked up while watching the stream. But then they also announced the Space Monkey program, where artists can submit art that will go into the game through Joseph Gordon-Levitt's Hit Record company. And this can be music for the game, visuals for the game, whatever really you want to do. And they actually showed an example of where there could be like wall art on a specific pillar in the game or something like that. So definitely really cool. You can contribute to the game's art assets through hitrecord.org, and you can submit yourself there. And it's really cool to see that. It's really cool partnership that they have there in the gaming industry. Really cool to see this happen as well. Then we got a little Rainbow Six Siege in the conference, and they announced that 35 million players are all across R6, and they also had this really cool esports announcement where they are going to go on a 6-month tournament with huge rewards for Rainbow Six esports. So if you're definitely a competitive player, I'm sure you already know about this, but definitely get hype for that circuit as well. Then they announced and showed a little bit of a documentary called Another Mindset, where it's all about the R6 pro players and some of the ones that are very popular. They did a whole documentary on them to honor them, so definitely cool to see that there as well. Then we got the announcement of Trials Rising. It's a new game in the Trials franchise. It was a pretty cool trailer that they showed. They showed a few of them, obviously. They showed some that were featuring gameplay or some cinematic ones. Overall, pretty good trailer as well. And they showed off and announced a beta as well that you can sign up for right now called trialsgame.com for the new upcoming game Trials Rising. And the game is firstly coming out, once again, you guessed it, every other game is coming out at this time, February 2019 on PS4, PC, Switch, and Xbox One. So February is going to be a packed game for, you know, pretty much every upcoming game in the future. A lot of people are going February 2019. And then they gave us some of that sweet Division 2 action, and they announced here that the game is taking place 6 months after the first game. And that time jump also brings us a time in the actual world of Division where the virus that initially started this whole thing has burned itself out. It's not as big of a threat as it used to be 6 months prior and when it first started on Black Friday. And again, there were plenty of really cool trailers across the entire conference, but Division 2 probably had one of, if not the best CG trailer there. It was crazy to see. And they also announced that in the Division 2, you will be able to pick one of 3 different specializations. And these specializations are essentially just classes. They have specific guns and abilities to them as well that you can use and pick to better hone in the playstyle that you want to play with in Division 2. They also announced the massive news that we now have 8-player raids in the game as well. That's going to be super hyped to play with, and also DLC is in the form of episodes. So there's 3 that are planned after launch, and they're all going to be free. So pretty cool stuff that they're highlighting right there, and obviously pretty good support as well with the free DLC post-launch and everything. And there's also a beta that you can sign up for as well. I actually did while I was watching the stream because it looked way too good for me to pass up. So definitely we'll be getting on that beta as soon as I can. And the game is coming out March 15th, 2019. So I could not be more hyped for Division 2. I was already sold yesterday with the Xbox conference and what they showed there, and I'm glad that this conference just added on to that. They didn't repeat the same trailer like we got, you know, earlier this morning with Square Enix's conference, where they just essentially re-showed and just added, you know, little bits and tidbits and scenes of the Kingdom Hearts trailer. So I'm glad that they actually, you know, didn't just rehash the trailer from yesterday, but they showed a little bit more of it and just added more to the actual, you know, game and the actual info that they're giving us throughout the entire E3 and stuff like that. So I'm sold 100% getting this game on spot day one, 100%. And then they brought out a live band to accompany the announcement of Donkey Kong DLC that's being added to Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. It is called Donkey Kong Adventure, and it looks like it's just a expansion to the game. Looks like it's going to be a, you know, just a standard Donkey Kong expansion that you would assume it would be like, and so that's definitely what's going to be here. There was some Donkey Kong barrels throughout the levels and all that, and it looked, you know, they look pretty cool if you were into that game. I didn't play it, but I heard a lot of good things about that game that was actually very, very good for, you know, us clowning it at first, but definitely excited to see that DLC being added to a game that a lot of people like. It is available June 26th. However, it is available on June 25th if you have the season pass, so you can get it a day early. If you really want it a day early, you can grab it with the season pass. Next up here, a game that I did not have a lot of faith in last year when it was shown, called Skull and Bones, got shown again with, I mean, you guessed it, a really cool trailer. Honestly, these trailers, they killed it this year at E3. I'm telling you, they definitely killed it with the showings here, and it looks really, really cool. It takes place in the Indian Ocean after piracy is outlawed in the Caribbean, and there are a lot of different things that you can do in the game, but there was one feature here in the game that they showed called Fortunes, and what Fortunes do is they essentially tell you different changes and aspects to the current game that are happening at that current point. So one day you might have a better weather conditions, or the other day you might have more ships on the open seas that you can in turn steal from, or they can steal from you and pose a threat to yourself. So just really cool aspects of the game that they announced right there and everything, and you can upgrade your ship cannons obviously, and maybe the way your ship looks and everything. And just off of the gameplay, it looked a lot like AC Black Flag or Origins as well with the ship combat. So that's essentially what you're gonna get here. If you enjoyed the ship combat from Black Flag and Origins, you're probably gonna like the ship combat here in this game as well. Transference also made another round of the Ubisoft E3, and I totally forgot about this game completely, but again, it was that first-person exploration game where you're solving puzzles and switching perspectives as you go in and travel through another person's mind and deep thoughts and secrets and everything and stuff like that. It just looked really trippy and really cool and, you know, really edgy and stuff like that. It looked like a really cool game and everything, and it was announced for VR as well as traditional platforms as well, so it will be coming to you know, skew of those different platforms as well. And the game is launching fall 2018, so it looks like we'll be getting it here pretty soon as well, and it looked pretty cool. I'm down to try it out if I can. Next up, they brought out Starlink Battle for Atlus. It was that Toys for Life game that got announced a few years back and everything, and there was rumors that it might transition from being a Toys to Life game to just a regular standard game, but it has still retained its Toys to Life aspect of the game, so if you were a fan of that, it's still in the game and everything. It got announced for October 16th, and it looks actually pretty good. Again, you know, these trailers are selling these games left and right, and they look really, really cool to me personally, and I'm definitely interested in this game, but a lot of people lost their minds when Star Fox got announced to the game as well. But the Star Fox aspect will be exclusive to Switch, and I assume that you will get your own toy as well with the Star Fox thing, so I think you can go into the store and you know, buy the Star Fox ship and everything, but the Star Fox aspect of the game will only be exclusive to Switch. So if you want to play that, you're going to have to grab a Switch and get that expansion and exclusive stuff only on Nintendo Switch, which I think personally is a great move, and it furthers and, you know, really does kind of permanentize the relationship between Nintendo and Ubisoft that they've had as of late, with the main example being Mario plus Rabbids. That game even coming to fruition, you know, just shows that bond between Nintendo and Ubisoft, and I'm glad that it is still here with Starlink and Star Fox. And then we stopped by For Honor as well during the Ubisoft conference, and they announced that the starter Edition on PC via Uplay will be free for the next week. So for an entire week, you will be able to play For Honor for free on Uplay. And not only just for the week, you will be able to keep that copy, so you can, you know, further on keep that copy of For Honor Star Edition and play as much as you want. And if you're sold on it, they also announced some DLC that'll be coming later on in the year called For Honor Marching Fire. And this brings new heroes and maps, everything, and along with a new mode as well called Breach. That is a 4v4 mode. And that will be coming out October 16, 2018. So definitely a lot of cool stuff we got laid out for the rest of the year and everything in terms of Ubisoft, and really cool to see that they are still supporting the games that they currently have right now. The Crew 2. So the Crew 2 got an open beta announced, but the issue with this beta is that it starts on June 21st, right? Which is cool, and you know, it's gonna be on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and you can preload it right now if you want to as well. However, the biggest thing is that the game is releasing on June 29th. So it looks like this beta is clearly to get a lot more people, you know, just noticing the Crew 2 and potentially buying the Crew 2 and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to play that beta, honestly, I might do it. I really might play this Crew 2 beta just to see how the game kind of is panning out, how's it looking, how's it playing right now, because I've heard that the Crew 1 was definitely trash and garbage, whatever. So who knows, maybe the Crew 2 might end up being a really good game and might have a cult following or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but I might go check it out just because it's free. Why not? It's a beta. And then to wrap up the Ubisoft conference, they ended off with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and it looks beautiful. It's set in Greece. They laid out that it was a time for modern medicine and philosophy, but also war. So there's definitely gonna be that, you know, side to the overall location and time in history as well. And so for me, I was a little bit scared and hesitant about this game, and I still kind of am, because it looks so much like Origins. And it's coming out just a year after Origins. After Origins taking 2 years off, you know, prior to that. And so, you know, having, you know, a studio like Ubisoft have an annualized franchise like Assassin's Creed go through the motion of being an annualized game, and what that really means, which is that your game can't really change that much, and you can't really do that many different changes to the game because it's an annualized franchise, and you need to have it pumped out every year and stuff like that. So I am kind of hesitant here about this game in that sense, but look, here's the deal, right? I loved Origins, okay, and this game is looking really, really good, and yes, it looks like it is reusing some assets from Origins. That is, you know, a thing that is a fair complaint about Odyssey, just how it looks right now. But I am still excited to play Odyssey just because I loved Origins so much. And yes, it is very similar and everything, but I enjoyed the hell out of Origins, so I'm really hyped for Odyssey as well. You will be able to play as one of two different characters, Cassandra or Alexios, and they play the same story whichever one you choose. The only difference here is that you are either born a male or female, so either Cassandra or Alexios, and they share the same bloodline. But they did add to Odyssey, even though it is a lot like Origins, in the form of conversation trees. So you will be able to choose some different lines of dialogue that you can say as opposed to the pre-scripted ones that are usually in Assassin's Creed. So that's pretty cool as well. And the UI looks like Origins. You still have the same skill trees and armor upgrades like Origins as well, and that brutal gameplay is still there. And overall, you know, there is a lot of similarities, but hey, you know what? I am 100% down to play Origins again, even if it comes in the form of Odyssey, and it is coming out October 5th, 2018. So a pretty packed October as well this year. And that was it from Ubisoft for E3 2018, and honestly, they did a great job personally. I think they did an amazing job with their showing. They had really cool trailers, and even for games that I wasn't really interested in, what they showed was actually pretty cool. So overall, I think they did a great job, and honestly, they were right under EA for me. I think it was EA, and then Ubisoft was right under there as well. So definitely really cool stuff there from them. And a lot of people were kind of, you know, on the edge of their seat waiting for a Splinter Cell announcement, but that didn't come, so there was that upset. But overall, great conference. And that has been my Ubisoft E3 2018 recap. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to PlayStation Source for the latest and greatest in PlayStation. And make sure to also enter into our giveaway to win one of 3 $10 PSN cards. All you gotta do is subscribe to PlayStation Source, leave a like on the video, comment on what you would use your $10 PSN card for, as well as leave your Twitter username in the comment section, as well as follow PS Source Vids on Twitter. Thank you all for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one, because we got Sony next up. Ooh, I can't wait. That PlayStation conference. Let's go. Let's go.